Buckle up and get ready for a roller coaster ride of some tasteless humor, lots of heart, and radical truth with two scrappy chicks. Because adulting is hard, but we are thinking that laughing about it is just so much easier.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Me and my mom are going to be discussing Stranger Things season 3 and 4 today. I wanted to open up the podcast today, so I asked her to. So, to set the the how to set how season 3 goes. Geez, I can't talk today. So it's the summer of 85 and the Mind Flare returns and it possessed Will last time. Well, now it's going to possess Billy, and Billy is Max's stepbrother. And so Billy starts to create like a, a like a monstrous beneath the mall. So they start to take over the mall, and then a secret Soviet Russian base is trying to open up the gate in the Upside Down. So that's the main summary of season 3. And then there's like romance with Steve and Robin working at Scoops Ahoy, and then Erica helps out with the Russian plot. Hopper and Joyce are kind of getting feelings for each other. Will is basically left alone while Lucas is dating Max and Levin is dating Mike. So that's kind of the summary so far, and we're gonna kind of talk about this because my mom is more fresh with this than I am. But um, Mom, what did you think about season 3?
How they changed in 2 years?
Oh yeah, well yeah, because there's that gap of I think like 2 years.
Yes.
I think, yeah, 2 years. Yeah, I forgot to say this in the last podcast, but back in 2022, they had a pop-up shop in Oak Brook, and you had to get reservations, but it was basically like uh it was the set of season 2. So it had the homecoming scene, it had them on the bikes, it had the science lab, it had a Demogorgon in an area. Um, it had the arcade area. It was really freaking cool. And then when you walk out, it has like the red, kind of like when you watch the opening of Stranger Things. Oh, they also had the Wills family. They had their living room displayed there with the Mind Flare drawing. It was so cool. I was telling all my friends about it and they ended up going, but my friend had a really nice camera and he basically did a photo shoot for us there. So I got a lot of cool pictures there and I dressed 80s style with my husband. He kind of dressed like Hopper though.
Yeah. Post it in the group, Facebook group.
Oh, yeah, I can post it in the Facebook group or I can have you post it on TikTok or Instagram or whatever you
Tiki
do.
Taki. Yeah.
The Tiki-Taki.
Yeah.
So, you've been binging this really fast.
Binging. Yes. Yes. In one week,
Yeah. In one
four
week, she already
seasons.
got to season 4.
So I took a
Uh,
break because I
so yeah.
had to watch my other stuff that came back from winter break. The shows that um, came back is, and I've watched it since day one, is The Rookie and 911 and 911 Nashville, Grey's Anatomy, Doc, and Chicago Fire.
You watch too many shows.
I know.
You know, me and Chris have been talking about what are we going to watch next after we're done with Stranger Things, but we're on the last episode and it's about 2 hours long and we can't find time in our schedule right now to watch it because we're always working and then after we get home we're eating dinner and then we're with our little one because our little guy won't go to sleep for at least 2 hours. I gotta write that down and talk to the doctor and see if there's anything I can get him to do to like calm down and know that it's bedtime and it's time to go to bed.
Yes. Um, so getting back to three, it's
Yeah,
funny how you talked about the, oh, I'm
excuse
sorry,
you.
it's been a long night
I
and
should be the
day.
one yawning because I'm like extremely tired today.
Well, I am too. That crazy, I swear, we get the craziest weather.
Oh yeah. This morning, my drive to work was okay. Well, my drive dropping off Eli to daycare was fine. And then driving to work, as soon as I turned down the road to where my job is, it was like a gust of wind and you couldn't see anything, and it was just snow and wind and then snow and more snow, and then it went below temperature, and I'm like, what the heck was that?
They call that a squall.
A squall?
A squall. Yeah,
Yeah, well,
snow
it was not
squall.
nice.
Yeah, a lot of people were complaining about it. Um,
Yeah, I'm very lucky I reached my destination right when it
yeah.
started.
So my notes talk about the romance with Ellen Mike, how cute it is, and
Oh,
then
yes.
Hopper and Joyce, but she still misses Bob.
Yeah, yeah, she kind of lingers for a season, but you can kind of see that it's kindling.
Yeah, because doesn't she tell him she has plans and really she's home alone?
Yeah,
That was her plans.
yeah.
And then, like you said, a lot of it was about the underneath the mall with the Russians wanting to get
Yeah,
into the.
majority was the Russians. I typically what I enjoyed the most about season three was the mall scenes and Steve develops more as a character and he's really cool, and then you're introduced to Robin. And she's a super great character too.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just being teenagers working a job at the mall, and it reminds me of the good days when malls used to be good. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they were probably good for you in the 80s too, but
Oh,
they were also
yes.
good in the 90s and 2000s, and now they're just non-existent. But it's a good kind of feeling of the mall being full and active like that, and nowadays it isn't.
Yes.
But I enjoyed that part a lot. I enjoyed um them I I can't really remember too much, but I know uh it like I said, this show keeps you suspense. Like it just each episode makes you want to watch more and more and more.
Yes. Hence why I binged in a week. Um,
Yeah.
Here, let me tell you some stuff will refresh your memory. Billy
Okay.
becomes a lifeguard at the community pool, and
Yes.
I wrote the MILFs were drooling over Billy. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. And I think back, to the moms of friends, and they would not do that. They would not be
No.
crushing on someone their kid's age.
No, that's just wrong.
But I thought that was funny. And I still think he looks like a young Rob Lowe.
He does look like a young Rob Lowe. I mean, in this season, you hate Billy a little less than the second season.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. I mean, it's just more of him getting possessed by the mind flare and him getting a lot more weirder and yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then with the romance with Mike and Elle,
Oh
Hop
yes.
Hop
The
has a
keeping
talk.
the hop is like 3 feet, don't close the door. Yeah,
Three
that
inches.
instantly reminded me when you would say that to me when I was dating.
3 inches. The
Three
door.
inches.
Yeah. And then he had the talk with Mike.
Yeah.
And then, if you remember, after the talk, he was kind of avoiding Elle and she was getting mad. Remember?
Yeah. It was
And
like typical teenage stuff.
yeah, and then her and Max went to the mall on a
Max.
shopping
Oh
spree.
yeah, and they become good friends. That is
Yeah,
so cute.
yeah. The shopping spree. I was dying at the clothes. I was like, "Oh my God, yeah, we dressed like that."
I think at one point doesn't Elle dump Mike and she goes, "I dump your ass."
Yes, out when they
I
went
love that
outside,
scene. I
they
love
were
that
getting
scene.
on their bikes. Yeah, yeah,
I
that
love
brought
that
back
scene.
memories too. That was a thing that us girls did. A
Uh-huh.
little
I'm
dramatic,
trying
yeah.
to I'm trying to think, Mom, you might know the name of him. I can't remember the name of him. The cute little guy that they find who works for the Russians. What's his name? They end up
Oh,
taking him to
Alexei.
Alexei. Yes. Yes, when they get Alexei and then get Murray involved. Again, Murray is such a great character, and I love that they got him involved in season three, four,
I
and
love
five.
Murray.
He's a great character. He's just there for comedy relief. He's got the funniest jokes. Even in season five, I know you haven't watched it yet. He says some hilarious jokes in season five.
Yeah.
Um,
And
but
then
yeah,
well, you
Alexei,
talked,
I love Alexei. You just fall in love with that character.
yes. And then you talk about Billy going to the upside down world.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "What do you want?" And then wasn't it like a duplicate of him and like the rest of the townspeople?
I, again, haven't watched it in a while. I
Okay.
don't remember this. I just know that the Mind Flayer takes over Billy and just tries to take over Hawkins, and they start with the mall, and then, the Soviet Russians trying to open the dang gate again, which they shouldn't be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was sad when they killed, um,
Well, we're not
what's
that
his name?
far yet. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. You don't want to go that
Yes.
far. Okay. Go ahead.
Yes.
You continue.
Okay. So then I noticed, and this isn't a thing anymore, smoking in the restaurant. That was a thing back then, and it is not anymore, at least for our state. It might be for other states.
Yeah,
Um,
you're right. Smoking in restaurants isn't a thing anymore. I remember you would go to the restaurant and you would say smoking or non-smoking. And now there's no smoking at all.
oh, so how um people were turning was Billy was doing something to them. Like there was
Yes,
one
yes. And then they would start to eat what, manure or dirt, right?
like fertilizer.
Fertilizer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that one old lady, she had a rat, and Nancy and not Mike. Mike was her brother.
Jonathan?
Steve.
Steve. Okay.
They go to her house and interview her, and then after they leave, that rat turns to the goo,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, that was icky. And then so that lady ended up in the hospital. Nancy and Steve lost their job at the
Yeah.
paper.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, the people started getting crazy because the other lifeguard Billy worked with, then they um did it to their parents, her parents, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So they would go to a place and they would go down the stairs, and then one by one they would
Yes.
walk up to the monster and just disintegrate.
Yes. I remember this now.
That was crazy.
Yep.
And oh, and then you talked about the ice cream shop with Steve
And
and
Robin.
Robin and
Yes, and Steve develops a crush on Robin.
Robin likes girls.
Yes. They get eventually they find out about the Russians, get into the secret area in the mall,
Well, yeah, they were
and
decoding what they were saying.
yes, and
And
then
they
they get into the
used
secret.
Lucas's sister to go through the vents,
Yes, Erica.
because they wanted to see what was in the boxes. Remember? It was like this green goo stuff, and they get caught in that room,
Yes.
and they're trying to
Yeah, they
escape
get
the Russians.
Steve and Robin get caught, and then they get a truth serum, and then that's when Robin tells Steve she gay.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, and
Yeah, I
Hop.
remember all this. I remember. Can we go further and talk about the death now?
No.
No.
Um,
Okay.
because I still got
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead
Hop.
with your notes still.
Hop got beat up, and then
Yeah.
Larry the mayor is a jerk off.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
that's when we're talking about the townspeople were turning, you know, into like zombie-like people and then going to the
Yeah.
monster and the monster eating them.
Yeah. The
And
mind flip.
what is this? Well, I have no idea. Oh, the slug. So then that slug thing turned like really huge. Oh,
Huge.
and then I noticed Erica, her backpack's My Little Pony.
I did not notice that.
Mm-hmm.
Probably old 80s styled My Little
Yeah.
Pony.
So
Yeah.
pretty much in season three, there's three storylines. There's Dustin and
Mm-hmm.
company, and that's Steve, Robin, and then Erica. And then you
Yeah.
have Hopper and Joyce
Yep.
dealing with the Russians. And then the rest of the gang is in their storyline. And then um
Nancy and Jonathan were doing stuff too.
yeah,
They were like investigating the strange occurrences.
yes. And then Elle, when she becomes blindfold, she can see things. She kind of like goes into people's minds and stuff.
Yes.
Okay, we talked
Yes.
about the blob. Um, the movie theater. They were
Okay.
playing Back to the Future.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I like it. So now we could talk about Alexi,
Yeah.
that Joyce and Hopper grabbed Alexi, and then Murray was with
Brought him to
her too.
Murray.
So they took him from uh underneath the mall because he had information and he only spoke Russian, and for some reason Murray was fluent in Russian.
Yep.
And I don't know why, but they decided to go to a carnival, and one of the mean Russians somehow found them, sought them out, and
Shot him
Joyce,
down.
well, yeah, Joyce and Hopper were like escaping him, and they end up on a ride that they didn't want to be on. And then they get off the ride, and then you can tell what happens to Alexei.
He dies.
Well,
The
he was
Russian
having
guy.
fun at the carnival and he won a big stuffed animal. It was so
Yeah. The
cute.
Russian guy just happened to walk by, had a silencer, shot him right in the chest with one shot and walked away. And Murray was getting what, corn dogs, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I was super sad. They give you this really cute character and you fall in love with him, and then he's gone in a second.
yeah. And
Okay, so fast forward. So now Hopper and Joyce are gonna go to
to the mall.
to the
And
mall, yeah, and they're gonna stop the Russians from opening the gate. And then and the Mind Flare also ends up at the mall.
Yes.
And also Stephen and Robin are trying to escape the Russians as well.
Which they do because Erica and oh my gosh, why
Dustin?
is it Justin?
No, Dustin, D.
Dustin.
Dustin.
Erica and Dustin rescue them, and remember they're getting away in like a golf cart,
Yeah.
but the two of them are laughing and they're just like, "What the heck is wrong with you?" They couldn't understand that they got drugged.
Oh yeah, I remember Dustin calls up his girlfriend Susie on the walkie or something like that, or
Yeah, they go up to a hill and put up this real large antenna, and they're making fun of him um because they started singing the Never Ending Story song.
I love that song.
Ever see that movie?
I haven't seen it in so long since I was a kid, but I know the never-ending story.
Yeah, I like it. I like
Yeah,
it a lot.
a very
Okay.
good movie. Um, okay, so what are your notes? I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Well, I mean, pretty much it's just getting closer to stopping the Russians and closing the hole. And Joyce and Hopper were in there, and he was telling her to go ahead, and she knew it was a risk for his life, but he was telling her go ahead, and she does. And then you don't see Hopper anymore, so you're like, ugh, okay, Hopper's gone. And Joyce
Yeah,
was
I
able to
accidentally spoiled that to you.
yeah, Joyce was able to destroy that machine that they were using to try to open up the wall.
It was sad because she says if we survive this, let's go on a date, and then
Yes.
he's gone, just
Yes.
like that.
And so
He
yeah, they're
pretty
able
much
to
sacrifices himself to close the gate.
yes. They're able to close the gate, and then unfortunately Billy does not survive from that monster, and Max was upset. Um but
Yeah, Billy pretty much saved the kids and sacrificed himself. And does doesn't Eleven end up killing the Mind Flayer? What kills the Mind
yeah.
Flayer?
Well, yeah,
Okay.
that and they were throwing fireworks at it too.
Yes, yes, I remember the fireworks. Yes. And
Yeah.
then after Eleven beats the Mind Flayer, she loses her powers.
Yes.
And
And
then, Billy dies, sacrificing himself to protect them.
yes.
And Max is upset and crying, and then basically it ends with the Briars selling the house and taking Eleven and moving out of Hawkins, and then
They go to
um,
California.
California, yeah. And what made me super sad is that Hop wrote a letter for Elle, and I was just sobbing
I
when that happened.
know. I know.
And then I had to wait 3 years to see, or 3 years, or was it 3 years or more than 3 years? When
Um,
it's
yeah,
see,
because it was 23 from 2019 to 23.
yeah, I had to wait 3 years to wait for season 4. And I was so mad because it left me on the edge of, oh, did Hop really die?
Yeah. Actually, if it was 2019 and 2003, it was 4 years you had to wait.
Oh God. Yeah, I had to
Yeah.
wait 4 years, ask myself if Hop actually died or not. And I was sad because Hop is one of my favorite characters in the series.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to live with that for 4 years.
Yeah. So we'll have to speed up about four.
Well, I mean, we can always
No,
make
we
this a
can
little
do
bit
it.
longer.
We can do
You
it. I
can do
got
it?
notes. We can do it. I got notes.
Okay. Do you want to open up with how season 4 starts?
Yes, they're in California. Elle isn't adjusting really well because she's being bullied. There's mean girls. And then back in Hawkins, you still have the gang there. And once again, with the time passing, they really grew again. Like their looks to really change. And I want to say, was the year 86? Do you
Um, I think so.
or
I could look into
85?
that for
Something
you.
like that. It's still in the 80s. I am still loving the music.
Oh, I mean, season 4, you fall in love with the music even more.
Yes. I mean that's my music.
Yeah.
And then there's some new characters, but they're not main characters, like Chrissy.
Yes, yes. And Eddie.
Yes.
You
And
can't
then
forget my boy
Jason. And
Eddie.
Chrissy and Jason are girlfriend and boyfriend, and somehow Chrissy gets pulled in to
The
this.
new villain.
Yes. And what they do is they like take their arms and bend them and their legs, and then their eyes are like really creepy looking. And of course,
Did
that's
that did that scare you?
it did. Looked very demonic. So,
Yeah, it scared me too when I first watched it. But yeah, basically we get this new villain, Vecna, and that's what he does. He will target teens with trauma and uh, have them have hallucinations, and then once he gets them, he does that. He makes them float up and kills them basically, and um he's doing it basically to open up a gate to um the inside out, the upside down to Hawkins.
yes. And
And go ahead.
yeah. So yeah, Chrissy's the first one to die, and Jason was blaming Eddie for it.
Oh yeah, I feel so bad for Eddie. He gets just the raw end of the stick in this season so bad. He's such a great
Yeah.
character.
So now we have them in California, and then you had the gang back in Hawkins, Indiana. And back to California, they're roller skating, Ella's skating, and the Mean Girls, they like throw a shake on her and that, and then she was trying to use her powers and they're not working and they were making fun of her, so Elle takes a roller skate and bashes it in her face, which that was brutal. Probably not a good idea. She
I would
gets
have done that to one of
arrested.
my bullies.
Hmm. And she gets arrested, and Mike had come out to California to visit her. And when she's being driven in the van to the prison, the juvenile prison, Dr. Owens and or is it I'm sorry, it's probably just Dr. Owen. And his people pull over the van and said, "We'll take her off your hand." And he wanted to take her to get help to get her power back.
And then
And
Papa comes back.
yes, and there's a story behind how Vecna came about, and Nancy and Robin went to go see Mr.
Isn't Max
Creel.
with them as well?
Huh?
Isn't
No.
Max? No, Max. No, no, no. Max is with the other kids. Sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, Max. I mean, sorry. Nancy and Robin go to find out more about Vecna.
Yeah. And they go to see Creel in like a insane place. And what the cool part is, it's Robert Englund, who was Freddy Krueger. That was cool to see him.
Mm-hmm.
And they get the story behind what happened, that he got blamed for his family's death, and it really was his son, Henry, who
Mm-hmm.
ends up being Vecna. He's the one that did it because there was something different about him that people and teachers and that, had seen, and that hence why they kept moving and
You
they
know, once you got to that part, you had asked me, you're like, did we ever find out how Vecna became Vecna? And I went, yep. You find out
mm-hmm.
on the last episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, okay, what else? Uh,
Well, so you forgot to mention, so Chrissy gets a possessed, and then Fred gets possessed, who works with Nancy, and
yeah,
so that Fred unfortunately gets the same ending as Chrissy and dies, and then eventually the next person who is traumatized is Max, and she's getting traumatized of Billy's death and everything.
yes,
So Vecna is trying to get her.
yeah, Mac,
And
she's afraid that she's next. And Dr. Owen takes
my
Al.
favorite oh I'm sorry. I was gonna say my favorite scene in season 4 is when she's at Billy's grave and she had wrote a letter and like she's like I'm gonna die. So she wrote everybody letters
Yeah,
and she's reading her letter to Billy at the grave and then she starts to get possessed by Vecna and then they learn from Nancy and Robin going to see the dad that the dad snapped out of it because he heard music. So they tell him like Max can snap out of it if she hears her favorite song, and then that's when you're introduced to that song "Running Up That Hill" by Kate Bush, which is such a good song. Did you know this song before this? The,
yes,
the yeah.
yes.
Okay, it's so crazy because this song was not big at all, and then as soon as Stranger Things took it and put it in the seasons, it was like the biggest song ever.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So, really quick.
Okay,
So the one that plays Dr. Owen is Paul Reiser, and I love him. He was in Mad About You, and I may have mentioned that before. So he
yeah,
takes Elle to get her powers back, but has no choice to bring her back to Papa, and then she gets really mad, and that's when we learn how Vecna, aka Henry Creel, came about because Elle and a whole bunch of other little kids were um being trained, and Henry was like an assistant and he was older than them. And Joyce, we forgot to mention this in the beginning, Joyce and Murray go to Russia to rescue Hopper because of a letter she
Hopper's
got.
actually alive.
Yeah. So, spoiler, Hopper's alive. And
And they're battling demigorgons.
yeah. And then the guy that was supposed to fly them, he like double crossed them. So, um eventually Murray and Joyce are able to get to where Hopper is. And yeah, that's something that lab in Russia had all those things. Was it the Demogorgons in the water?
Yes.
It's like, what are you guys doing? Are you nuts? And oh, so then we get back to the older kids who go into the lake to the portal that's in the lake. And it's Justin and Eddie. No, Justin and Eddie went through the portal through Eddie's house. And it was the other ones that went through the portal of the lake. And that's pretty crazy with them going down there and f all fighting Vecna. I was like, wow, you guys are really ballsy. And
Mm-hmm.
when Eddie was playing Metallica with the guitar on top of the trailer. That was amazing. And I
Oh,
seen
yes.
clips. He really played with Metallica to learn that. That was cool.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. So Elle does get her power back, and they come and rescue her. It was Mike who's in
Mike
the
and the
car?
gang come and get her, and right when
Yes.
they're coming to get her, a plane shoots Papa. Papa dies. 11 gets away, and the gang goes back to make a like one of those sensory pods for 11 so she can join Max.
Yes.
And Max and Lucas decide to go to Vecna's house. And then Nancy, Steve, Robin, I think also Jonathan go to the Upside Down to kill Vecna in his house in the Upside Down.
Yes. And in the house is Lucas and Max. And we thought,
Jason.
well, yeah, and Jason, like at the end, it's like the town is like a like a earthquake where it opens up and that, and
Yes.
then you can't.
Vecna tried to get Max, but didn't fully get Max. And Max's limbs did break and her eyes were starting to bleed, but she was able to escape. I don't know how. But yeah, with that slightly like she doesn't die, but I guess with him doing that, then
Mhm.
it's an earthquake happens and then it starts to split apart the world of Hawkins. And I love when Jason dies from the split. I'm like, ha, 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 that's such a funny death.
Yeah, well, he was fighting Lucas. This is
Yeah.
gonna cut us off, so we're gonna finish on um another one.
Okay. I mean, basically, to sum it up, Hop gets rescued, Levin gets her powers back, Max doesn't die, and it ends with now they have to go against Vecna.
Yeah,
So, yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Season 5 is very long. It's hours, like each episode is an hour and something long, and then the finale is 2 hours long. It's about 8 episodes. But yeah, eventually we'll do the last finale for the final season 5. So I look forward to talking that with you, Mom.
okay.
All right, guys, have
All right, I'm gonna leave or get back to where we left off. Kind of got cut. So, with throughout season 4, when Elle goes back to the lab to get her powers, um, Papa has her in this like water chamber tank, and that gives you more of an idea of how Vecna came about and the really horrible things Vecna did. And here, poor Elle took those memories thinking it was her, and it wasn't her. So you really learn a lot about who Vecna is and how he came about. Um, like I would say, out of all the seasons, 4 was really good. And just to warn you, the last episode, I didn't realize this, is 2 hours long, and I was just like I said, I binged this, and I was staying up too late when I had to work the next day, and I was like, okay, no, I can do this. I can do this. I can finish this. So yeah, 4 was really good. Um, Also, another thing we didn't mention was they go and get weapons. So it's Robin and so Robin, Dustin, and then you have Lucas in there and Steve, and who's the other one? Nancy and Eddie. And they go and get weapons, and they steal a drivable camper out of Eddie's neighborhood. And that's at the end, and then that's when they split up, and the older kids go into the lake through the portal, and the younger kids go to Vecna's house that he grew up in. Meanwhile, in Russia, they're trying to get the heck out of Russia. And it's funny, like I said, this takes place in the 80s. And here, they have no way of getting hold of Joyce, because it's the 80s. It's not like they can pick up a phone and call her, like a cell phone, like we can now. So that was driving me crazy. And then I'm like, oh, this is the 80s. We couldn't do that. And I'm like, how did they know that they would be back in Indiana? So, anyway, um, when they were trying to get out of Russia, like I said, the one guy double crossed them that they paid. And then they told him, is there any way out of here? Well, yeah, a helicopter. And he named the helicopter Katinka. And he was purposely not letting it start because he took a part out. And finally, the one of the guys that was, I can't remember his name, he was in the prison with he was in the Russian prison with Hopper. He finally gets him to put that part in that's missing and get Katinka working. And meanwhile, Murray, Hopper, and Joyce go back to that lab, and that's when they seen all of those creatures in water, and they're like, oh my god, this is disgusting. And then when they went back, they see, okay, so they initially seen it when they left, but when they went back, they could hear they got loose, and it was hectic. So it was up to Hopper and Joyce and Murray to kill them, and they would corner them into this middle section of the building, and guns really did not take them out. Did some damage, but not totally. Fire, they don't like. Hot. So they used flamethrowers, and that's how they were able to kill them. And it just so happens when they finally eliminated all of them, above appears Katinka. And it's so funny when Murray goes, Katinka! And the two Russians came to rescue him. And finally, Joyce and Hopper get back to Indiana. And, I mean, like I said, they have no clue what is going on with the kids. And it was sad because Eddie was, I liked Eddie, and he was being blamed from the beginning of Chrissy's death. But, as we know, it wasn't her. I mean, it wasn't him. It was Vecna that was doing it. And then, we talked about Papa, which was Matthew Modine's character. He's the one that taught, all these kids to have these superpowers. The military gunned him down. And then they left poor Dr. Owen handcuffed in the lab, so we really don't know whatever truly happened to Dr. Owen. And finally, so in the end, Elle and the gang go to a restaurant, a Mexican restaurant, and they use their freezer to fill it up, and Elle gets in it because they're still in California, and she's trying to help the ones back home in Indiana. And she's able to get in their minds, and she was able to help Max, and actually saved Max because Vecna pretty much killed her. But Elle's like, no, you're too young. So Elle saves her. So that was awesome. And finally, I'm just reading my notes here. So they get back, everybody gets back to Indiana. Joyce, Hopper, Murray, all the kids. And they all get back there. And the flamethrower, Murray with the flamethrower is such a awesome thing. And then Elle fighting Vecna. That was pretty cool. So, like I said, they closed again the gate. And like I said, it was like an earthquake, and like the town was like split, and people were leaving the town, and the ones who didn't leave, the government like put up fencing, so they're kind of contained now to the town. And like I said, in the end, everybody reunited. Hopper and Joyce came to the cabin. The kids happened to be there, like sprucing up the cabin. Max is in the hospital in like a coma. And I'm pretty sure we talked about Eddie had died, and that was sad. He got attacked by little, that looked like bats. I don't think they were demogorgons. So that was sad that Eddie didn't make it, and poor Dustin took it really hard. So that's where pretty much it ends. And of course, because they knew they were doing a fifth season, you're like, okay, how's number 5 gonna start? So have not started it yet, but I will. I just needed a break because, man, that was a lot in a week to binge watch and be so dedicated and go to bed late when I had to work the next day. So, all right, I'm going to sign off. I'm yawning here. So, hopefully, you enjoyed our little recap. Didn't want to give like verbatim too much of what went on, but it gives you an idea. And like, if you haven't watched it, you really should. I mean, like I said, it is a really good show that keeps you on your feet. Like, you want more, you can't stop. So, all right. Next one will be season 5. And that will be the end of Stranger Things.
We love our Scrappy Peeps. So thank you all for joining us and becoming part of our flock. So please like, subscribe, and share. And if you don't like us, unfortunately, yo mama. But if you do like us, we look forward to seeing you next time on Two Scrappy Chicks.